What's up, guys? This is Titan Lifestyle. We're back 2 p.m. Friday, every Friday, here with John, here to talk about some Titan events, therapy of the week, what's on sale this week. We got some crazy topics, too.
Absolutely.
Bodybuilder goes pro, well-known.
In two shows.
Yeah. And a young powerlifter actually lost her life. So we'll get into that a little bit later, but let's get some shout-outs.
Yeah. Let's get everybody getting joined in here for a second. Then we'll start getting going. But, as we're sitting here, I guess, and reflect back on this last weekend was crazy, phenomenal, was awesome. I mean, Saturday was excellent. My birthday, dude, everybody's in the house, people from around the country. It was nuts. Yeah. So it was definitely a good time. I appreciate coming out.
It was definitely a good time. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Always.
I can't wait till the photos and videos come out. There's a whole bunch of them. I haven't really seen them yet.
I got it. I just got them today, actually. So
yeah. I
the
can't
video's
wait to see
done.
them. Yeah.
Pictures are done. So I'll give you all that.
Yeah. Shout out to Andreas and Jai too for doing a good job on the pictures.
And Brian.
Oh yeah, Brian was there too. Yeah. He was there. Everybody was there. Mike showed up. Titan showed up. His wife showed up.
Yep, Mono
Tim
was there.
Gardner was there. Good to see Tim.
Yep, Tim was
Pro
there.
baseball players in the house too. So.
Matt Joyce.
Yeah, Matt Joyce.
Anthony Telfer was there. Who was another 15-year pitcher in the MLB.
Yeah.
There was some good and all kinds of titans of businesses.
Yeah.
I mean, there was some heavy hitters in there. I'm telling you straight up. When I seen some of them, I was like, oh my God! I can't believe you guys came out. So it was a big shout. It was definitely well orchestrated by my beautiful wife Charisse. A beautiful venue at the Motor Enclave. They always do fantastic or whatever goes on there because it's such a spectacular place. So it was crazy. And then afterwards, it was they had this. They had this party going on, right? And it was, it wasn't kind of my scene, but at that point, it was good. People got to enjoy, relax, and then you'll have to see this video of the Nate.
Yeah, I had a good time at the party with John and the people and all that, but I took off. I didn't do the after party thing, but it was starting to get crazy when I was leaving.
Yeah.
When I was walking out, coming down the steps, I saw people coming in. And even when I got home, some people that live in my building were downstairs in the lobby, getting ready to go over there.
Yeah.
So, it was kind of crazy. I could see the Motor Enclave being a more frequent spot of Titan stuff.
Sure.
I could feel it.
For sure.
I could feel it. After the car show and then your birthday, I'm like, they like this place.
Yeah. It's nice. It's really, really nice. Destination has everything that you want there, so... All right, well, you know what? Let's get into a topic. Let's go until we start getting everybody in here. We got TikTok up, we got Facebook up, Instagram up. Okay, all right. Well, let's get talking. So, Sam Sulek, pro in 2 shows. I wasn't there at either one of those shows personally, so it's hard to judge by pictures all the time. There are videos out there and stuff, but listen, Sam has definitely worked his butt off. He's gritty. I like it. And at that point, he got his pro card. There's speculation out there, why it was so easy to get his pro card and such. That's hearsay. I mean, at that point, to me, I didn't get to see, I guess, the first show. I heard he was really, really good in the first show. Second show is the Arnold Amateur, and you had a lot of good amateurs in that contest. So, I mean, it wasn't like he was going up against weak competition. I don't think. I mean,
I haven't seen Arnold's picks yet. I mean, I saw a couple pics of just him, but I haven't seen the lineup yet. But the show he did before that, I thought he looked great.
Yeah.
I mean, I was actually surprised. A lot of people were surprised. I mean, he's always big and strong and does all that, but when he was losing weight, everyone was like, "Oh, he's small now. He's not Sam Sulek anymore." But he kept it quiet.
Yeah.
And he looked crazy, and he's got a good vacuum. And
yep.
So I think he could be
He did have a good vacuum.
He's not going to be as good as Chris Bumstead yet.
Yeah.
But I can see with his influence, with the amount of followers and people that know him, and the amount of, his likeness will carry him a long way, even outside of his physique.
And that was kind of the difference between the two. And it's a good point that, with Chris Bumstead, he got going because he was competing and because he was winning, right?
Yeah.
And then it started getting even more and more and more. With Sam, I mean, he was just making videos, and he just got a phenomenon like that online, basically.
Yeah.
He didn't have to step on stage. He never got his pro card, so he's kind of doing it backwards, which I think that, it makes it more roundness as far as credibility-wise. Now you're an IBB pro. little bit more behind what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's good though. I mean, listen, you know, I just thought it was really crazy. 2 shows.
Yeah.
You know, how many people have done that? I had
There's
to look it up.
There's been a couple females. I know Shanique Grant. I think she did it, but then again, she was like a multiple Miss Olympia. Some say she's the best ever.
Right.
And I think there's been a couple. I think what's the guy? The Neckzilla guy.
Oh yeah, maybe
the
he did
Neckzilla.
too.
I think he might have done too. But these are people that already look like pros before they even competed. So, but yeah, with Sam Sulek lost all the weight, people were talking junk about him. Oh, he's losing weight and then this and that. So, I think he could be. Because if you look at pictures of Chris Bumstead, when he did his first NPC show, as opposed to when he won the Olympia, it's completely different.
Oh,
person.
yeah.
Yeah, so you think about it, this is Sam Sulek's first NPC show. He's only done 1 NPC or 2 NPCs and he's pro now. So, but I know Lola Montez was another one. She came in and right away at the amateur, people thought she could have won the pro show at the amateur, but it's very rare for guys, very rare, especially bodybuilders.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You really got to have it. I mean, together, I mean, genetics play a part, I guess, but I mean, training plays a part, I guess.
Even if you look at Derek Lunsford, he's a local guy in Tampa Bay area. Won the Olympiad, won 212 Olympia. If you look at his first NPC show, completely different.
Yeah.
He rose up quick, but it wasn't 2 shows. I mean, he did a couple shows and he won the.
Right.
I think he got his pro card and then he came in Tampa Pro, then he won the Tampa Pro and.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's very rare. I think Sam's gonna do well. I like his content. I like how he's basic. A lot of people talk junk about him, you know, because he was eating like cereal and brownies and all that. But he's young. I mean, he's not 50 years old eating brownies every day.
This is true.
I'm excited to see what's gonna happen and what people are gonna say if he's gonna continue. Because he doesn't need the money in terms of competing, so he could just do it just to say he did it. Like I got my pro card, that's it. He might just do a pro show, do well, and say that's it, or he might just make a career out of it.
He definitely don't need the money.
Yeah,
I mean, you ain't making money as a bodybuilder.
Yeah, and
you got to win the Olympia to make.
He's making a lot. Of
yeah,
money.
That's what I'm saying. You got. I mean, to make money, seriously, like competing, because think about how much money you put into your body competing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot that goes into it. You know, it's not just you getting on stage and getting a little tan and that's it. You know, there's a lot that goes into your body. So.
Literally a lot that goes into your body. The supplements, the food, the recovery treatments that people do, the hotels, the flights. It gets expensive. So that's another reason why a lot of people don't compete unless they have sponsors.
Right.
A lot of people, I didn't for the longest. People were like, why don't you do a show? I was like, why don't you pay for it?
Right.
You know, so I mean, people that have sponsors and they have that, it's fortunate they, you're having people pay your show fees and entry fees and this and that takes a little bit of bulk out of it. But people don't realize, they just think, outside of bodybuilding, they just think, okay, he's a big guy and eats and works out every day, but it's way more, more. It's the most grueling, time-consuming costs.
Yeah.
When you want to play basketball, all you need is a basketball and a hoop.
That's it. I mean, back in the day, it was like
you could train and do everything. You could train and do everything on the court. Like you really need to. But with bodybuilding, you actually need weights. You need supplementation. You need Hercules or HRT. So it does get up there. It does.
It does. So it's awesome though. It's good. I mean, I think it's good for the sport. And as far as that goes, I think it's going to bring a lot of people in that are younger.
We got Mishi Lin said, were you guys able to see my question? I don't see any questions up on the boards right now. If you want to just re-ask it, we can get to it. But I don't see anything up there right now. But we got Michon Lin on here. We got Jennifer Dene, Whip Pew Paxton Hall, T Crank.
What's up?
I always get that name. Esquire Broker.
What's going on?
Jennifer Dene said, what is the impact of the gut-brain axis on immune function?
Gut-brain axis on immune function? I mean, listen, there's only so much that's going to go on. It's a majority of gut that's going to deal with immune function. Brain is telling you, hey, listen, it's feeling these different things, but as far as that goes, gut's going to be everything.
Yeah, gut health, it also goes a lot hard with heart health, too. Yeah. People don't put the two together.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Listen, it's a harmonic balance, so everything needs to be kept well, right? Yeah. Well sustained or maintenance. But at that point, you want to definitely make sure you're if it's immune system, your gut. What do we got? Roses. We got suns. We got.
this is so dope. Got a lot of emojis, a lot of shout outs. We need some questions. We're here. If you got questions about health, fitness, training, anything, Keep it PG, but we'll.
How about you, Drew? So let's hopefully just feed off of us.
Yeah.
So at that point, like you're training. So what is your optimal training like? Per week? Like what are you doing? Are you doing 5 days on, 2 days off? Because some people go 3, 1, and they do 3 again. So it's 3, 1, 3, and then keep going on that.
Right now, I don't really have a set schedule. I used to go 7 days a week for years and years and years. Then I did 5 for years and years and years. Now it's probably 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And I actually get a better working out 3 or 4 days a week because I have more rest. I have something to look forward to. If you go to the gym every day, it's like, here I am again, going through the movements. But if you work out and then take 2 days off and then go back to working out, in those 2 days, you could think about, okay, so when you get back to the gym, you're actually looking forward to being there. And as I get older, my joints and recovery, start slowing down a little bit. For me right now, it's probably 3 or 4 days a week. Probably 3 some days, some weeks.
Yep.
But I can't do the 7 days. I can do 7 days, but I can't lift heavy 7 days. Like even the people that are addicted to getting into the gym, if you want to go to the gym every single day, that's fine. But just do like calves or like, a little bit of cardio or maybe a touch-up. You don't need to be beast mode 7 days a week. So, I mean, you can do touch-ups. People don't really, I don't hear touch-ups that much. If you want to go in and, touch up my chest, do some light cable flies, light dumbbells, maybe some push-ups, get a little blood in there, do some calves, walk around a little bit.
That's the key.
Just to feel like you're in there to get some movement. You don't need the beast mode every single day.
Yeah.
I mean, even Ronnie Coleman, I think he was doing like one body part a week going crazy. But then again, that's a genetic freak. They can recover and all that. So 3, 4 days a week for me is the best. And I like to take time off where I'll work out one day, take a day off, work out one day. Or work out one day, take 2 days off, or 2 days on, 3 days off. I feel a lot better. I feel a lot better physically. It's just mentally I want to be in there every day.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's how it should be too, right? I'll tell you what, we'll get these questions and I'll get back to where I feel as far as gym wise.
Yeah.
Mishi, what do you say? Lost 140 pounds, had a tummy tuck last week. Can I get into bodybuilding and be able to compete?
I mean, anybody can get into bodybuilding. They have actually shows where they have transformation shows where people lose the most weight.
Yep.
Tummy tuck is definitely going to help with the excess skin if you have any with the 140. But yeah, anybody can get into bodybuilding. I mean, pretty much anybody. I mean, as long as there's no height requirement. Certain categories there is a weight requirement, but there's other ones there's no weight requirement. So I mean, you could definitely get into it. And it looks like you lost the weight and got the tummy tuck, so you want to do something now. Now is time. Now is the time. So if you didn't want to before, what was your starting weight and your current weight? And real quick, how did you lose the weight? Was it semaglutide? Was it clean diet? Like, how did you lose the 140? But congrats on that, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Congrats on that.
And then, all right, so Bear asks, what's up, guys? I just picked up some Titan L-carnitine. What's the optimal way to use it with ECAs and Hercules Potion?
Load it up.
Dude, use it. So use it in the morning, use it before training.
Load it up.
Hercules Potion, obviously, you're going to take, 45 minutes, 30 minutes before the workout. Inject it into the muscles you're going to train that day. Or if you don't want to do that, you can just inject in your delts and it'll work systemically through the body. But if you want more of a instant gratification, injection into the muscle you're going to be training that day is going to be the best for that, for the Hercules Potion. The L-carnitine, you can inject in your delts. You can do that, like I said, before the workout. You can do that in the morning to get the body moving. And ECAs, I usually take in the morning. Some people take them, like, let's say at midday, right? Because they usually wake up, they have energy, and they're going midday, and they start, all right, well, I need a little boost. So I'll take it in the mid-afternoon, 12, 1 o'clock, maybe 2 o'clock. I wouldn't take it past 5 or 6 unless you're going to want to stay up past 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
I mean, just play it by ear as far as that goes. But the best of the best, you inject that all before the workout.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And also, too, with the L-carnitine and the Hercules, if you're taking Hercules with it, you could put those in the same syringe. So if you're doing 1 ml of Hercules, you could do half an ml in one syringe, half an ml of L-carnitine in one. So that way you're equal. A lot of times people, they don't want to just do 1 ml here.
Sure.
They'll do half and half. So if you're doing L-carnitine and Hercules, you could go half and half. So it's here and half on the other delta or your bicep, wherever you want to put it.
Yep.
I like L-carnitine because it actually, people don't look at it as having like a pump, but when you spot it, you feel it in a good way.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Also with Titan Complete too, anything that's water based that goes in a syringe and using, an insulin needle, you could do it with Titan Complete as well. So if you wanted to do, 0.3 Titan Complete, 0.3 carnitine, and 0.4 Hercules, you could do it that way too.
All right, it says advice for 48-year-old lifter doing this for 35 years. I just want to be, I guess it would be strong and muscular.
Yeah.
Advice. I mean,
if you've been doing this for 35 years, then you should be giving other people advice.
Yeah, you're being consistent man, for sure.
Yeah.
But if you just want to just keep being strong and muscular, just do what you're doing and keep progressing. That's awesome.
Working out since you was 13.
That's great.
That's good.
How does TRT compare to a standard first test cycle? Well, TRT is replacement. That's what testosterone replacement therapy. That's what TRT means. So it's kind of not like a first test cycle.
Yeah.
So if you need it, that's where HRT or TRT comes into play. Otherwise, people are messing around with cycles. They're going on and off and putting their body through, up and down process. And at that point, it's probably not the best. I would say work out, eat, sleep, drink water. Really, really test those genetics of what you got already. Because if you're doing all that, you're going to get some great results, right? Unless you need testosterone. And then at that point, that's where that comes into play. And then your body's functioning at optimal levels and you're just rocking and rolling.
Also, too, is TRT. A lot of times people, like I've said before, people say TRT and they think 100 or 200 milligrams. TRT is through a medical provider.
Yeah.
So even if you're doing a TRT dosage on your own, that's not TRT. It has to be monitored. So don't just say, okay, I'm going to do this amount of milligrams because my friend, that's what he's getting prescribed. Right. Everyone's different. So there is no TRT unless you're doing it through a medical provider. Otherwise, you're just taking testosterone.
Absolutely.
And you don't know what you're replacing because you don't know how much to replace. Like John said, the R is for replacement.
Yep.
So if you don't need to replace anything, a TRT dose is putting you over your levels.
Right.
You don't know where you're at. So everything goes off the blood work. Everything goes off the levels, not just your own, personal recommendation. Your friend says, my bottle says 100 milligrams a week, so I'm going to do it. No, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah. I just had somebody call in the other day and because he did lab work with us. Guy's totally unsuspecting. His lab's jacked up. Everything's jacked up. And then we call him, hey, listen, obviously, things that you're on or something's going on here. And he's like, I had this issue. My buddy just told me to take these things and it would be fine. And man, he is just jacked up. So he's like, what can I do to straighten myself out? And obviously we're helping him through that path, but don't just take things your buddies really, hey, just take this, it's going to help you out. Just make sure you know what you're doing. That's the best thing I could say. If you're going to do testosterone or any other things, I would just check with a provider that knows what they're doing first. Because it's out there now. Now we're out there, and we've been out here for, 13 years going on. And at that point, there's other places too if you don't want to use us. But there's somebody out there that can help you. It's not like before where you really don't have anywhere to go. Then you had to go to the buddy or whoever's the biggest in the gym or whoever's helping you out, I guess, in that aspect. So,
56 Knuckles 19 says thoughts on MK677 while on TRT. I think it's great. It actually works good with TRT. That's what I was doing for a while. Looks like he's doing 1 cc or 1 ml a week, which is a TRT dosage. The only thing I would recommend to 56 Knuckles, those are two, is to have it monitored. If you're just doing it on your own, a certain amount of milligrams on your own, like I've said before, have it monitored through a medical provider like Titan. That way they can check everything, make sure nothing's getting up or down off the lines or off the levels. But that's perfect right there. And it's good to see someone, even if you are doing it on your own, which I recommend you not go through a medical. It's good to see someone only doing 1 ml per week. Because a lot of these guys do it on their own. They talk to the biggest guy in the gym, like you said, and he says, I'm doing 5. And like, whoa.
I'm going to do 10.
So that's literally the same exact thing that I was prescribed. And again, everyone's different, so I'm not saying do it because I do it. But it was 1 ml a week and MK677 capsule a day. I felt great on it. My joints felt great. I got big. I got strong. And I was eating everything in the house.
Definitely.
Everything in the house.
Definitely key. What else we got? I think we had some ones on the other page right there.
Spike, God, that's crazy questions.
All right. What role do medications like appetite suppressants play in medical weight loss programs? Well, they play a pretty big role. All the GLP-1s and everything that's out there, they're mostly appetite suppressing. So, with this, calorie deficit happens, patient starts losing weight. So it's very essential, I think. Can HRT increase the risk of certain health conditions such as blood clots or strokes?
Good question.
So TRT, I guess, could, but it doesn't if you're monitored correctly. So if you're monitored correctly, no, it's not going to ever happen. But if you're not monitored correctly and you're just going to a provider and they're just giving you testosterone and you're just going about your business and they're not even blood checking you maybe only once a year, then at that point what's going to go on is maybe your red blood cell count goes high, maybe your hemoglobin hematocrit go high, and at that point you're going to be at a super high risk for all the things you just mentioned and more. So if you don't want to be in the blood clot, stroke, or DVT category with testosterone placement, then you should have a provider that monitors you correctly and is at least checking your complete blood cell count very often, at least twice a year, at least twice, maybe more. If you're more sensitive to converting or this happening, and you'll know this after the first couple months. When you check your blood, you'll see, hey, listen, are these things going high or are they trending high? Now, you only have two other options when those do trend high. One, you get a therapeutic blood dump, right? You donate blood, at least 500 mLs per dump. You might need multiple over weeks. The other thing, you lower your dose of testosterone. Now, I see people say, I'll just lower my dose of testosterone. Well, you won't feel as good either. So it's a give and take. I think I'd really want to go get the blood dumps, but there's people that say, hey, listen, I don't got time for this. I can't do this. Well, at that point, then you just lower your dose. So totally on you. Good question, though, 100%.
Clark is asking, what do we think of Clomid? I'm not a fan of Clomid.
Yeah.
Is there better options? What are you taking it for? Because I've heard, I could only assume what people take it for, but I've heard people say, yeah, man, I'm trying to get big and ripped. I'm taking Clomid.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that does. So I think a clomiphene would be a lot better option, or HCG.
Yes.
In terms of bringing, if you're coming off, or people like to call it post-psychotherapy, but even if you're trying to get, whether you're dealing with testicular atrophy or anything like that,
right, and
clomiphene and HCG is going to be a better option, excuse me, with less side effects. Clomid has too many side effects. It can blur your vision, and it can mess with your eyes, and it's a lot of different stuff with Clomid. I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah, Clomid and clomiphene, just the molecule difference, right? They're in the same family. But, result-wise, listen, with Clomid, on paper, the numbers are going to go up. And that's why I think some of these guys I'm going to get jacked in, because it does raise testosterone levels. Yeah. And clomiphene does the exact same thing, but you don't have all the negative side effects usually that come with Clomid. So, at that point, use the better of the two, which is in clomiphene, and I think you'll be good.
Clark, just like what I said, it messing with your eyes. He's saying he's seeing dots and streaks. So
yeah, not good.
Not good. It's almost like if you stare in the sun and your blood pressure gets too high and you have that blur where it's almost like there's like a blue spot. You can't get around it. Yeah, I've heard plenty of people have that issue with Clomid. So, and here we have one of them saying it right now. So, not a good thing. We still can't find your question, Michilin.
Yeah. Well, I think we found her question, but I don't think we followed up with asking her about her weight and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, starting weight, ending weight, and how you got there. Cargri? You see that?
Cargri. What is Cargri?
I'm not sure what that is.
But listen, what I would do is I would up the retatrutide. You should be tearing that up anyway. So if you are taking it like that, if you want to take it with something like tesofensine or something of that category, that'd be another appetite suppressing thing. But that's the way to do it.
I'm not sure what that is. Cagrilintine? I've never heard of that.
I have no idea what that is.
Gotta figure out cagrilintine. Long acting and so it looks like almost like a GLP.
No, don't take both of these. Not like that. Definitely not. I'm sorry. Yeah, definitely don't take both of these. Take one or the other and then raise the dose. You could, like I said, take tesofensine, take something else, but not something else that's going to affect the blood sugars. You don't want to go too low either on blood sugars. That just is what it is. I think the retatrutide is going to be the game changer for you, and just upping that dose. All right. Also, is 300 milligrams week testosterone acetate raw a decent first cycle? So we're not going to talk about cycles, but listen, 200 milligrams of testosterone is what we usually prescribe to patients. And at that point, 200 milligrams is usually going to get you really good levels. 300 milligrams we do for patients, but at that point, those levels are going to be really high. They're going to be above 1,500 for sure. So, that's all I can give you on that.
And also, there's testosterone acetate. I'm not sure if you're confusing something, but it's not going to be testosterone acetate. It's going to be the propionate, cypionate, nanthate, or even a blend, or testosterone decanate, or even suspension. I don't think there is a testosterone acetate. If you're looking for a fast acting, that would be propionate, which we could have here too. We could have propionate too, but we've told people in the past, so I don't know.
Hey, ban this guy.
Yeah.
I see the top comment. I mean, he's trying to troll with the acetate question.
Yeah.
All right. And
Lindsay, down 76 pounds in 7 weeks, insane calorie deficit, 10 miles a day.
Woo.
Now I need to tone. So, shout out to Lindsay.
Yeah, Lindsay, man. That's awesome. 76 pounds in
10 miles a
weeks.
day.
That's awesome.
She's losing 10 pounds a week.
Yeah, man. More. Jeez.
What are you trying to do now? Are you trying to...
She wants to tone. So listen, toning means weight training. Yeah. Weight training. This is what that means. Cardiovascular is great. Like the 10 miles, awesome. It's going to have great heart benefits. I mean, you're going to have great endurance benefits. But your body's going to start adapting to that too as well. And it's going to not want to hold as much muscle. So you're not doing any sort of weight training. You're just, putting the body through the ringer and the burner. Yeah. So at that point, you got to start weight training. That is essential.
You got to have muscles to have tone.
Got to.
Like the tone goes around the muscle. It's how the muscle appears. So.
Yeah.
Clark also says, ex-high-level athlete, 6'4", 245, 51 years old, just want to clean it up. So, yeah, I would definitely get rid of that Clomid then, in my opinion.
Yeah, we're doing clomiphene. Call us. Text us. We'll take care of you. Nationwide service, Titan Medical Center. Hormone replacement therapy, medical weight loss, vitamin amino acid injectable therapies, rejuvenation detox, libido enhancers, peptide therapy, blood work in death. Nationwide for you guys. Okay?
So, yes, it's true. Everybody doesn't want to be a bodybuilder. We're talking to a couple ladies right now that have lost a lot of weight, not looking to bodybuild. So, people see me at Titan, they think, oh, it's about bodybuilders. 100% wrong.
Yeah.
I'm one of the few ones here that look like this. It's about general wellness, keeping you healthy. So, whether you're a woman who doesn't work out, a guy who's been working out for 30 years, you want to, your sex drive is off. Women, if your hormones are off, we take care of everybody, not just bodybuilders. Yeah,
these guys are trying to make a buck. You wish. Listen, I've been doing this for over 13 years. Drew's been with like 6 or 7 for sure. Yeah. So at that point, listen, we're fine. We don't need to do that. We're out here trying to help, trying to educate. Because there's a lot of people out there that might not know the information. So that's what we're here for. So that's what it is. All right. So Bear said, I'm sorry, YouTube was froze. I didn't hear your response to my question. All right, so Bear said, or asked, what up, guys? I just picked up some Titan L-carnitine. What's the optimal way to use it with the ECAs and Hercules Potion? And like we said, there's 2 ways you can use it. One, you can take it in the morning as you're going, getting the body fueled, bam, done. Or you could take these all at one time and go right to the gym like 45 minutes later. At that point, it's going to hit you pretty good. You're going to have a hell of a workout. Yeah. ECAs, I usually take in the morning myself, and usually propels me throughout the day. I wouldn't take it any later than 5 or 6 if you want to go to sleep 10 o'clock. So you could take it midday, 1 or 2 o'clock too. If you have good energy in the morning and you're starting to slow down a little bit, and you're like, I need to crank because I got to work out after work. I've been there. I know how that is. So that's definitely the way to do it. That would be my thing. I mean, Drew uses it too. So
yeah, I use it too, especially if we have events where I'm if we're at an expo where it's all day. I may take one in the morning, and I may look at the clock and take one 10 or 12 hours later. So. I would only do 2 max a day. I wouldn't start getting into taking one every couple hours because you're tired. Yeah. So for me, I would only recommend 2 a day or even 1. 2 is kind of, if you need to. But I don't want people getting the habit of I'm getting tired, ECA. Yeah, I'm getting tired, ECA. Yeah. You don't want to be doing that all day long.
Definitely not. Yeah. Definitely not, 100%.
Way too much other ingredients in there to be taking like that, aside from the caffeine.
Yeah.
Chewy0444, can changing to subcutaneous cause big drop in T levels?
So I mean, no, either am I. There's been more and more people that's coming in here, and I've had people from other clinics coming in here, and they don't know what the hell they're doing. So, listen, subcutaneous, you can inject subcutaneous. Is the oil made to go subcutaneous? Absolutely not.
It's gonna sit there like a pimple.
It is. It is. It's something where they say, oh, we can microdose it every day and have more even levels. Dude, I'm telling you. Inject it half your dose on one day, and 3 days later inject half your other dose. You'll be way better off. You want to deal with the subcutaneous. Where you can inject the subcutaneous? Your stomach. So at that point, if it does bruise you and you do have some let's say, rendezvous with a female, you're going to probably pull your shirt up. She'll be like, what the hell is that? You don't want to bruise all your stomach either.
Yeah, you definitely don't want that. If you think about it, it's like putting oil underneath your skin. If you have a pimple, think about it. Pimple is when you have oily skin, it's build up. Yeah. You have a pimple on your face or wherever, on your back, shoulder. It's oil, and it becomes oil. Then once you pop it, the oil comes out. The oil is directly underneath your skin. So if you're going to sub-Q is under the skin and the fat. Yeah. So you're literally putting 1 ml or whatever, half a ml of oil under your skin, the same way a pimple would be. Yep. I've tried it just to see what happens, and it was a disaster. I literally had looked like a pimple, and it was like a water balloon. I could squish it back and forth, and I had to hit it and move it around to push it in. It's not made for that. If I do sub-Q with IGF or even if I were to do Hercules sub-Q, because you could do Hercules sub-Q, as soon as I go in, it's gone. There's no bump. I don't see anything. You couldn't even tell what side I did it on. So, again, too, I've heard of people doing Hercules sub-Q now. Hey, it's going to be systematic anyways. I'd recommend IM, but, oil-based, doesn't matter what it is. For me, I will never do sub-Q. IM
is definitely the way to go for sure. Million %. And even when we talk about, absorbency.
Abscess central,
Right? Clark. So, absorbency goes subcutaneous absorbs the least. Intramuscular absorbs second best, and IV directly into the bloodstream is the best. So, 1, 2, and 3, as far as what you're doing.
And also, just, we always got to put that out there. John said IV is the best, not for HRT.
No.
Not for HRT.
I'm just no.
But you got to say.
I know, that, thank God you did, because you know what? I wasn't even thinking about that.
IV is not the best. You do not want to put oil into your vein. You will no longer be around.
No,
don't do that.
No, don't do that. We're not talking about doing anything IV with you guys, right? Titan will service you in every shape and form. If you come to Titan, we'll give you an IV.
Oh yeah, glutathione IV.
But we don't want you guys to do your own IVs. I don't want you guys to do your own phlebotomies. I don't want any of that. So. No. All right. Do you have any advice if my goal is not to be too big and just have a lean body? I don't want to be too big. I've been lifting for about 4 months and track calories. Just do what you're doing.
Yeah.
Do what you're doing.
Consistency and patience.
You're not ever going to get too big. I promise. If you don't want to, especially. Yeah. You got to work to get big.
Unless you're naturally big. He might... just for numbers' sake, how much is your natural weight? Because if he's a guy
if you're 6'6",
if he's a 250-pound guy from the country that's just big and strong, then that might be a little bit different. But a lot of times people are just looking for a quick fix.
But he's talking about a lean body.
Yeah.
You want a lean, so that doesn't mean you're big. A bigger dude, country big, or just monster, it's just big, right? That doesn't mean they're diced; they're big. So at that point, it sounds like you just kind of want to get to a point where you look good naked, and you don't want to have any problems getting big. So you're not going to get big. Just do what you're doing. Weight lift, do some cardiovascular training, you'll be fine.
Also, people are always concerned with calories. Look at the quality of the calories too.
Yes.
So if people are like, oh yeah, I'm not really a big calorie guy. People are like, oh, how many calories? I'm like, look, I know how much protein, how much carbs. Yeah. But calories, because people will start getting into calories, looking at labels and calories. Not all calories are good. Not all calories are bad. So it's you got to figure out. I would say if someone's trying to get big or even trying to get small, rather than just look at calories, they have to change their food.
Yes.
Actually change your food. So if you're doing chicken, and you might want to change the steak. If you're doing, rice, you might want to change to potatoes. Figure out a better way, a better quality calories are going to stick to you.
Yeah.
People are like, calorie. They'll buy a fake protein bar. It's got all these fake sugars and all this, but they'll be like, yeah, it's meeting my calories.
Yes.
But it's not sticking to you.
Yeah.
It's not real food.
It's definitely not. Yeah. It's definitely not. So, and, for some balance, I guess, or for some information for you guys, if you guys don't know what to eat, I guess, when you guys are trying to bulk up, that's where you're lean protein, but steaks usually are a pretty good one to go with. Yeah. And that's what majority of people do.
I love how steak is taking over again.
Thank God.
I love it. all that chicken all those years.
God.
I love how now eggs and steak are okay, yes, it is healthy.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Real butter, it's healthy.
Yeah. So, utilize those things. Now, to get lean, I would change, right? And I would go more of a chicken route or a fish route or something like that. Some people do it different. Drew might do it different. That's what I do. That's what works for me. But you got to kind of find what works for you too.
Yeah, I'll go from steak to white fish and maybe one salmon meal.
Yeah.
but I'm just not a fan of chicken at all.
Yeah, but
you have
the cut meal.
Yeah,
like, we want to put on some more weight, some more mass. We're gonna go that route. Yeah. We're gonna start. All right, it's time to start cutting up. We got the beach to go to. We got to get this all diced out. So we're gonna go this route. So know what you're doing. Have a game plan too as well, or don't. Yeah. Say, listen, I don't care what's gonna happen in the next 6 months, and I'm just gonna train and eat the best I possibly can.
That's pretty much what happens. People they give up on trying.
Yeah.
And they start looking better.
Yeah.
Bison. Bear saying buffalo meat. Yeah, bison. I love bison.
Yeah. Bison's
lean.
lean.
Bison every day.
Bison's
it's lean. It's clean. I love the way it tastes. Yeah.
So that's good. What else we got here?
Real quick, just to let everybody know, we have 10% off of all Titan weight loss therapies. All weight loss therapies.
Yes.
All of them. So whether it's
ECA GLP-1,
retatrutide.
Yeah, retatrutide. Dude, now is your time. If you've ever wanted to lose weight with Titan Medical Center and you want to save money, now is your time. Nationwide service, guys.
You're looking at like $65 off of terzepeptide, $55 off semaglutide.
Yeah.
It's like what, $10 off
85,
ECA?
Yeah, $85 off for Reta.
Yeah.
So
you got that. Big savings.
Even on the newest therapy on the block that nobody's giving discounts around the country. We're gonna give a discount on it for sure.
Hey, Bear, are you being real or is that a joke? He said his wife killed a bison last year and they've been eating from it ever since.
Oh, nice.
That's man. Let me find out. If I might need to.
Oh my God.
That's good on both levels to say, yeah, my wife killed a bison.
That's dope.
But it also you get to eat it, so yeah.
Yeah.
Whole year. How many pounds of meat did you get from that?
Jeez. Yeah, man. Because she killed an adult, you got a lot of meat for sure. That's crazy.
Where did she kill it too? Where was that at? There's not bison roaming around where we're at.
Yeah. This is Twitch, right? Yeah. Awesome. Twitch, what's going on? All right. So is Tren as dangerous as people say, or is it fear mongering or a gatekeeping drug? So listen.
No.
I wouldn't use it. Let's just put it that way. A lot of negative side effects. The risk isn't worth the reward.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
And one thing too is you can't enjoy the body you're in when you're on Tren.
Right.
You look the best. You may look the best and all that, but like you feel like crap. You can't sleep.
Yeah.
Your sex drive goes way up, then it goes way down.
It's so weird.
You have hiccups, heartburn, insomnia, and you're going to be highly aggressive about the smallest things. You could be at the grocery store. If they're taking too long, you're going to start sweating. You're going to be irritable. You won't want to be around people. If you're laid up with a female, their bed's going to be drenched. She's going to be like, why are you sweating so much? So it's like, but then you look in the mirror, you're like, yeah, I look good. It's not really worth it. Yeah. There's better ways. It's got to be more consistent. But the older I get, the more I hear all these trend stories, and it's just getting worse and worse.
Oh, yeah.
I took it when I was younger. Bad. Yeah. Bad on every level. And I've looked better after not taking it. So a lot of times people say, the only way I can look this way is if I'm taking Tren. Not true.
That's not
just take
true.
a little bit longer, eat a little bit cleaner. What people want to do is they want to start taking stuff and then just eating like crap and try to get away with it.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Dominic, neither one. I wouldn't use Rad 140 or LGD for your hair.
And another not to cut you off, but Rad 140, the blood work is gonna be just as bad as if you're taking Tren. Rad 140 is not like MK677. A lot of times people they say MK is similar. Nah, because MK is safe. Rad 140 is going to make your hemoglobin, and it's going to literally make your blood work look like you're taking Trenbolone, which is the most dangerous steroid. So.
I would definitely I would stay away from both of those for your hair. You're looking for hair, literally, like oral minoxidil, topical minoxidil, finasteride topically, right? Lantropost, we put a foam together. So you can utilize that. Hair health capsules are good. Injectable biotin. These are the ways that I would go if you want to do something for your hair. And then forget the other two things that you're talking about because they're worthless. I'm just being honest with you. There's way better things out there that are a lot safer for you that are going to get you a way better result.
Bear, we might need to connect. I need some of that meat. He said he has 487 pounds.
Wow.
When they were in South Dakota for their honeymoon.
She killed it on their honeymoon.
That's like a love story.
That's a good woman.
That's the best love story ever.
That's a good woman right there.
Yeah.
I'm from AZ. We'll hunt a lot and get to eat some very clean meat if we get to hunt that year. Wow. That's dope.
I've never heard of someone killing a bison. I always hear about people buying a whole cow or half cow, but
Well, like
That's almost 500 pounds of meat. I'm thinking how many meals I get from that's a lot of meals.
I mean, at least 500. Right, a pound.
At least
a pound a meal is good, right?
Yeah. I mean, my meal is about 10 ounces, so I mean, yeah, we're talking about 500, 540.
Wow,
that's a lot of meals.
Wow.
How many a meal a day for over a year?
Yeah. Crazy. How many years did you guys train Natty before your first cycle? All right, I'll be honest with you. So, I think it was until I was like 21. 21, 22. I think that's when it was probably like maybe 22, 23, actually. It was like right in there. 23 is when I first started dabbling in enhancements. And I was training my ass off and eating like I was literally trying to get to the best of my genetic purposes. And I remember like going through high school and going through play college. That at that point, like Natty was like you couldn't take the other thing. So at that point, like you had to be. So, you know, I never thought about doing it. And then, you know, we get out, stop playing. You're just out and living lifestyle. You know, at that point, and that's kind of when I started. So I'll be totally honest with you. It was like maybe like 23 years old, somewhere right around there.
With me, it was honestly it was about a year after I started working out. I took a couple things, but I felt weird. Like I didn't like it.
Yeah.
And I was still new to working out, so I worked out about 1 year. I started taking a few things, and again, like I realized because my genetics, even before I worked out, people were like, "Oh, where do you work out?" So it was kind of like, you know, when I first took it, it was like, okay, this is what everyone else is doing, what I thought everyone else was doing. But I mean, after a while, I realized that, you know, taking all that is not really helping me, like physically, and it's not really helping me mentally, and it's not really helping like the way the mirror is looking to a certain extent. Now, my lifts were, one thing I will say is I got a lot stronger. But over time, I realized that, you know, there's better ways to do it. But then again, back then I was eating cake every day and McDonald's and soda all day long. I didn't know what water was back then. So now it's like, okay, I could just do HRT and eat clean and look a lot better, feel a lot better. And when I look at the pictures now, even before 10 years ago, it's just a better quality look.
Yeah, right. I mean, the jewelry's amazing for sure. I mean, it's true. Even back then when I first started, like I wasn't eating the cleanest. I'll be the first to tell you. Like, I didn't really start... I started really eating...
I couldn't even imagine him eating anything but, like...
It was like...
steak, water, and eggs.
It was probably right at 23, like, when I started, like, right in there, when I started dabbling, that, you know, I had a guy, and he was like, man, like, we go train, and we train for maybe, like, an hour and a half, 2 hours, like, intense, right? This guy was huge. And he'd be like, man... And he was the most consistent person I ever seen in my life. Ever. For years, I'd see this guy go through his routine the exact same way every single day. Couldn't believe it. I've never seen anything like it. But he told me, he's like, man, he's like, we're training our asses off. He's like, you want to get big. You tell me you want to get big. And what the hell are you doing? He's like, you're fucking eating McDonald's. And I was like, that ain't going to get you big, dude. Yeah. He's like, you got to eat chicken, steak. I mean, he literally laid out what I needed to eat, right? And I'm like, all right, cool. Like, you know, I'll commit. And that's when I committed, and from then on out, I'm like, this is what I'm doing. So it was pretty cool. But you need the light, I guess. Like, do you really want it or don't you? Like, it really comes down to you. Like, it's all up to you. Like, you can either do it or not. And then at that point, somebody will literally smack you upside the head, not literally, but smack you upside the head and be like, hey, listen, do you really want this? What are you going to do to get it, and how are you going to get it? So
and you were the one that smacked me upside the head when I first came to Titan, because when I first came to Titan, I was still on my McDonald's every day, and John, every time I would eat it, John would be like, you got to quit eating that stuff. You got to quit eating that stuff. Yeah, we'd be out at an event or traveling or something, I go into a McDonald's or go into it and buy all these burgers, and John would be sitting there with his hard-boiled eggs and steak, or, you know, Eddie V's steak plain with water, and I would just be sitting there eating this crap, looking over like, I need to stop. And then from him telling me all the time, like, you need to stop. I can't be with Titanmedical riding around in a limo eating McDonald's and cheesecake all day long. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Like, I mean, it's like, how's it gonna look? I'm jumping out of a limo or jumping out of doing a Titan event, and they see me talk about health and fitness on here, then I turn around and go eat McDonald's. Whether I do it in the privacy of my own home or not, like, you just can't do that. So it's kind of like, you know, that's why I tell people, when you guys come to Titan, the girls come to Titan, it literally is life-changing. Like, once you get that blood work, that might be the smack in the face.
It will be.
You know, people are like, you may have someone to tell you. It's like, I mean, they call them, what do they call people that are heavy or fat now? They call them calorie, what was it?
calorie surplus.
Nah, it's like calorie. I don't know, but basically, if someone tells you you're fat, sometimes you may shed a tear or two, but it might change your life.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, the blood work. You may be like, I'm fine. Then you get your blood work done. It's like, look, you're 2 seconds away from kidney failure, hemoglobin, your blood pressure, and they may be like, oh, whoa.
Yeah.
So it's like all your friends saying, don't eat that. But even if you're lean, if you're a lean person, then you automatically think, I can get away with it. You can get away with it in terms of gaining weight, but your insides is trashed.
Right. That's right.
So, like, you may see someone that's skinny, like, oh, I can eat whatever I want. Yeah, you can, but once that blood work comes back, like me, when I got my blood work, it was like, whoa, wait a minute. Like, my testosterone's only 400, and everything else is, like, crap, like, from all the McDonald's.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what it is. I mean, usually it's people that, and they usually, some, not all, they usually change when they get that, like, talk from the doctor, like, hey, listen, you better lose weight or your heart's not going to stick up or this or that, whatever may happen, right? Yeah. And then you're like, oh, okay, wow, all right.
And it's usually men, usually us, because we don't tell anybody. All of a sudden, we're eating like crap every day, and then all of a sudden, next day, nah, man, I can't eat that no more.
Yeah, it's true.
You hear guys say it all the time. I can't eat that no more. Oh, you want some caffeine? No, I can't do that.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what it is. But I mean, but think about it. If you took the steps before that.
Yeah.
Right? You'd be that much healthier and wouldn't have to even go down that path for somebody to give you an ultimatum. And that's not to say that you can't have some of these different things once in a while. Like me and Drew ate a donut before this because the girls gave me a happy birthday donut thing. Yeah. But here's the thing. Me and Drew were consistent 98% of the time. Yeah. Maybe even I'll give us 90% of the time. Okay? But probably more than that.
So the only cheats I've had this week is I've had 2 all-natural sodas and the donut.
I had the donut and I had a croissant. Yeah. I had 2 croissants. So.
But then again, it might be 5 weeks where I do 0 cheats. And people are like, you getting ready for a show? No, I'm getting ready for life.
Right.
I'm ready to live longer.
But listen, even if you eat clean 90% of the time, it's going to show. Right?
Yeah.
Stick to it. Yeah. 80. I mean, I told people last night, I'm like, listen, your diet's going to change one day. And it's okay. You can have some of these different things, but 70% of the time, you're going to eat good. That means 2 out of 3 meals. 2 out of 3 meals, he's got to eat good. And it's got to be the same portions across the board. So we're going to see how that rolls. All right. What do we got here?
2,200 pounds off the hoof. Wow. I still feel about that bison.
What about Iperilin and CJC 1295? So these are great questions. So this is a great combination of 2 different peptides. We offer this in 1 vial. So we do offer Iperilin and CJC. And at that point, it's amazing. Raises growth hormone levels naturally. Pituitary releases its own growth hormone, which gives you a ton of different benefits for anti-aging all the way across the board. Lean muscle mass, losing weight, better skin elasticity. It's just a great combination of things.
Also, it's Scotty. You can find these hoodies. He's talking about the hoodies. You can find them www.titanmedicalcenter.com. We got hoodies like this.
Yeah.
We got a lot of other stuff, too, for men and women. We got hats.
Yeah.
Dry foot hoodies, sleeveless, long sleeve shorts, leggings, sports bras, cotton t-shirts, V-necks, everything.
Just started TRT injections. Glute be sore for a day or 2. Yeah, I mean, just know how you're injecting and everything like that. Are you switching the needle out before you inject to get a fresh needle? That could be a different thing. Angles, I mean, you'll get better with it. Sometimes the different, if you use a compounded testosterone, some of these different pharmacies, they're not as good as some of the other ones.
Yeah,
so
they put too much oil or too much alcohol in it.
They do.
And also, too, when you're doing a glute injection, make sure you're doing it in the right spot. The glute is a real big muscle.
Yeah.
I've seen people just reach back and hit the bottom of their glute. You want to be on the top outer of your glute. Yeah. You can call the office here and ask the girls or whoever answers the phone, where should I inject my glute?
If you're a patient, yeah.
Yeah, if you're a patient, or you could also, check online or different. Just make sure you're hitting the right spot. It has to hit the muscle.
Yes.
You don't want to go in at an angle.
No.
You want to do close to the middle, too far to the hip, and just make sure it's hitting the muscle.
Yeah.
If you hit the muscle correctly and it's deep enough, you won't get as much soreness. If the needle goes in at an angle, then it's going to be a little sore because it's not fully in there.
Scotty, I know now you're trying to troll us. Is that what it is?
Scotty.
Use Cypionate. Withdrawal was 23 gauge and inject with an 18 gauge.
Huh?
No, you're definitely not going to do that. The other way around, maybe.
Yeah.
Switch the other way. Are you going to troll me?
If you inject with an 18 gauge, that's like putting a number 2 pencil in your.
Yeah, you got a hole in you, dude.
You're going to have a hole. 18 gauge. Yeah, and there he goes. Yeah, he corrected it.
Okay.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
We had to correct you because if someone sees that, can be like, oh, okay, Scotty said, and then
I mean, inject with an 18 gauge. Yeah. So no, that's perfect. So if you're withdrawing with an 18 gauge, perfect. I inject with 23. That's what I inject with. You know, I know some people do injecting with a 25. I wouldn't go any lower than a 25. Yeah. You know, so at that point, you know, just there's a couple tricks too to maybe heating up the you know the medication and stuff like that. So
make sure you switch out that tip. I've heard a horror story before. Yeah. People didn't switch out the tip, and they're like, "Whoa."
Yeah, definitely. Low testosterone and sluggish metabolism. Any advice? Oh, I only need a few pounds off. If you have low testosterone, then at that point, get that fixed because that's just not losing weight. That's overall feeling, well-being, self-confidence, strength. I mean, everything that makes you a man, or not even just a man. If you're a female, Lisa, this does everything that it does for both genders, and that's energy, sex drive, metabolism boosting, cardiovascular health. So whether you're male or female, testosterone is a necessary thing. Now, the levels are a lot different, so just make sure that you know somebody that is doing the right thing. And I would definitely stay away from pellets. Anybody across the board. I don't care who you go to for HRT, TRT, whatever it is, don't do pellets. I'll fight that all day long. Is it smart to use a GLP and a TRT to lose weight consistently? Any TRT? Yes. Great combination.
Yeah. Actually, TRT helps with weight loss as well.
Yeah.
People don't really think of it like that, but TRT, even with Lisa, TRT will actually help with weight loss. Sure. If you're trying to lose a few pounds, that'll actually help.
Yeah, no, for sure. 100%. I mean, that with HRT, right, testosterone replacement or hormone replacement therapy, we call it because we're balancing a couple different hormones. That's like your foundation. Now you have foundation. Now start building on top of that. Whatever you want, right? You want to lose weight. You want to gain more lean muscle. You want better mental clarity. You want performance in the bedroom. Whatever it is, then you can get.
Gain's got a good one.
If my red blood cell count is a bit high, can I still take clomiphene? So you can, but you're going to want to get your red blood cell count and hemoglobin hematocrit down if all three of those are high. Also, I'm going to donate blood soon. How soon can I take it after the blood donation? So when you go in for the blood donation, they're going to prick your finger and they're going to tell you where these levels are at. And if they're too high, they won't take it. It's weird. If it's too low, they won't take it. So you should be fine as far as that goes. I'm not your provider, so I would ask them. But usually after the donation, usually it'll go down and usually it can start something like that. But just check with your provider of whoever prescribed you this medication.
Got one from, says, what are the potential risks? I can't see that. There we go. What are the potential risks and side effects of HRT for weight loss?
If you don't do it right, if you're not monitored correctly, there could be a lot of negative side effects, a lot of different things that you're not going to want. If you do it right and you're monitored correctly and they give you the right medications, doses are all good and everything's good there, it's going to be great with no to minimal side effects, like very minimal. Like you might have a little water retention here or there if you're not taking your medication right or something like that, but
again, when you're doing HRT, we're assuming you're going through a medical provider. So one of the risks, the side effects, if you're doing HRT not through a medical provider, if your estrogen gets really, really high and out of whack, that's going to make you gain weight. Yep. You're going to have a lot of body fat in high estrogen areas and water retention, also oily skin and breakouts too. So that's one of the side effects if your estrogen isn't in check. Yep. So that's another reason why you should be going through a medical provider and being monitored, whether it's anastrozole, tamoxifen, aromasin, whatever it is. If your estrogen gets too high, that's really not a side effect you want to have. As a man or a woman. Even though women have estrogen, if it gets too high, even though the estrogen is not going to give them gyno because they already have breast, it's going to make them hold water and hold body fat other places.
Irritable.
You don't
want
like,
that.
You're like almost like when someone is PMSing, for lack of a better term, because their hormones are off.
That is exactly what it is.
Same thing. Yeah.
Exactly. Alexi asks, what are the benefits of medical weight loss programs compared to fad diets? Well, medical weight loss programs have clinical data behind them or they have research behind them in some way, shape, or form. Fad diets don't. They don't. They might have some research like on Atkins diet or something like that, but
I haven't heard that in a while. Atkins.
Right? But, yeah, right? I mean, that was a fad diet. It's because, we go through these fad diets. But, when we talk about weight loss medications like GLP-1s, you're talking about clinically backed data that's FDA approved, that's went through a whole bunch of different things. So at that point, that's going to be your way to go. Like, would I trust a fad diet over A GLP-1? No, I wouldn't. I'd be like, all right, I'm going to go with GLP-1.
And the key word is fad. That means they come and go.
Right.
If they stuck around, then it wouldn't be a fad diet. It would be something that actually works.
Absolutely. You know? Mediterranean diet's been around forever.
Yeah.
Carnivore diet's been around forever. I mean, there's different things.
Those are real diets. Those are good diets.
Yeah,
those are ones that I would recommend.
How does HRT affect metabolism and fat distribution? It affects it tremendously. If your hormones are down, right, and then your metabolism is going to be working not so good. When you're optimized and everything's working correctly, your metabolism is going to be working the best it possibly can. Fat distribution. Well, Drew was just talking about it. Your estrogen's real high, you're probably going to have fat deposits in different areas. And it's probably not going to distribute all the way across the body. Yes, your body gains weight all the way around, but there are targeted areas for some people because of these hormones, because women, think about it, back of the legs, the rear,
triceps,
right? Yeah, I mean,
the chewy elbow.
Yeah, I mean, so there's different spots as far as that goes. So you want to make sure that everything's in balance, and that way, you're not going to have those problems. I think that's good, man. I think
that's pretty much
questions.
It. We're already at the.
We're at 3:01 right now.
We're already at the hour mark. Real quick, just want to give a quick rest in peace to a power lifter. It was going to be one of my topics today, but I'm not sure if we have enough time to get to it. But 17-year-old girl, powerlifting champion, gold medalist. So she was pulling the squat bar off the rack, and the rack actually fell down on top of her and fell and collapsed her, and she died instantly. So be safe out there if you guys, girls are powerlifting. And if you're going heavy, don't just have a back spotter, have two side spotters, because the back spotter here did terrible. He didn't know what he's doing, and the weight fell on top of her and killed her. So.
She had side spotters too. So,
but the side spotters, I believe, were kids.
They were. No, that's where my point was. Yeah. You could have spotters there. Make sure they're good spotters.
Yeah.
Maybe they've done this before, right? Especially when you're talking about that much weight. Like, there's no way in hell I'd be trusting some little kid that weighed 90 pounds, maybe 100 in that video, to be able to push up 600 pounds if it falls directly on him.
Yeah, 600 pounds is a lot of weight for a 17-year-old girl. And just what I was thinking, too, is why is someone trying to lift that much weight? But again, she's a gold medalist. She's a powerlifter. She's a world record holder. So apparently she knows what she's doing. It looks like the spotters didn't know what they were doing. And again, look like people aren't afraid to go ask the big guy in the gym what they could take to get big. But go ask the big guy in the gym to help you to spot you.
Right.
You know, usually guys that are the biggest guys in the gym or whatever, even if it's a woman spotting you, like they know what they're doing and they've been there a while. It's not just about them being able to hold the weight. So a spotter means nothing if the weight falls and they can't catch it.
That's right.
I mean, what's the point?
There's
if you can't catch that weight, then, and not only that, use a safety bar on a squat rack. Yeah. There was no safety bar. When she pulled the bar up, she stepped back so far that it was past the safety rack. Yeah. If she would have just took one step back and went straight down, she would have fell to the ground, and then the bar would have hit that rack and bounced up, and there would have been a gap, so it wouldn't have crushed her. So that's another thing.
That would have been the way to go.
Yeah, make sure you use those. She was walking back too far, and you can't tell, and it was just bad thing. So rest in peace. Yeah. I hope it doesn't happen again, and just take notes and make sure you have quality spotters.
Gaines said, you made me a believer on the ECA stack, been having the best workouts ever since.
Nice.
I don't drink energy drinks anymore.
Good.
That is awesome, dude.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Listen, guys, I don't drink any energy drinks at all. Yep. You won't find me with one in my hand. You never will, I promise you.
And if you want the effect of having warm liquid, because I've actually been doing a couple discussions on this with warm liquids, just heat up some warm water.
Yeah.
And take your ECA.
Yeah.
That way you're going to get the caffeine with the warming effect. You don't necessarily have to have coffee or energy drinks. Just drink something warm. So coffee drinkers that have been drinking coffee all these years, if you want to change the ECA, literally just sip some hot water in a coffee mug.
Yeah.
Like just to have that warm feeling. That's what I do when I work out. It's a whole nother show. But great to get out those energy drinks.
I promise you, Scotty, I'm not a hypocrite. I do not drink energy drinks. I haven't drank energy drinks. I used to drink them probably like 13 years ago. Yeah. Like right before I started Titan, I would drink Red Bull. And I didn't know, I was working a lot, and I would drink I got up to like 4 Red Bulls a day. Yeah. And then I stopped them because I was like, man, this is just too much. I knew then. I was like, this is too much. So I went cold turkey off them. So What's ECA? Ephedrine, caffeine, aspirin, B12, and chromium. That's what it is.
There's only 5 ingredients in ECA. Look at the back of one of those energy drinks. It's going to be a paragraph.
Yeah.
And 80% of that stuff, you don't even know what it means, and it's hard to pronounce.
Yes.
Not good.
Yes. Call or text us. You can get it from Titan Medical Center. We service nationwide. We are a full medical center, so at that point, we will help you in every way, shape, or form, even if it's blood work or just ECAs or peptides, whatever it is.
Also, ECA, when people use it as a pre-workout, they're always like, yeah, well, pre-workouts, this and that. ECA is like the least expensive thing we have.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know people that are going out there, they're buying a tub of pre-workout powder and then they're buying a tub of the pump stuff or whatever. Yeah. You get the ECA, it's almost the same price as that.
Dude, you get 10% off right now.
Yeah, so it's
we
$10.
We never do that.
That's about $10 off.
Seriously.
The ECA it's not that expensive at all.
I mean, it's like
the price of a tub of protein right now.
For real.
It is. It is.
What peptide would work the best just for belly fat? Only place I have fat, it's weird. So yeah, testosterone is one that is FDA approved. It helps with raising growth hormone levels and it targets visceral belly fat. So that's what your problem is. That's the one to go with. But if you're having that just poochy area, usually that's hormone related. So I would definitely get a blood test just to see. But if you want to just say, no, I don't want to do that, I want to go with testosterone, just go ahead and do that. Just call or text 727-389-3220.
Debbie Cauldron is asking how much is ephedra. Not so much ephedra, be ephedrine.
How much?
How much is in the ECA? Oh, I thought she was asking if we have that.
Yeah.
What is it, 30?
So ephedrine, you're going to get, we've got three different doses really. The first 2 doses that we advertise would be our low dose and our high dose. Our low dose has 12.5 milligrams of ephedrine in it, real ephedrine HCl. Our high dose has 25. So at that point, with the low dose, there's 100 milligrams of caffeine in that too as well. High dose is 200 milligrams. So the low dose essentially is 2 of those would equal high dose, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So, that's how we would do it. But it's a low dose. That's to start with 12.5. Or you can go up and you can go to the 25 milligrams of ephedrine. Like I said, there's caffeine in there, aspirin, B12, and chromium. If you're allergic to the aspirin, we can take it out. So don't worry about that either.
Also, Bear says ECA and Hercules by far exceeds any pre-workout powder on the market. I agree.
Guaranteed.
I agree.
Guaranteed.
No heartburn, no running to the bathroom mid-workout.
Yeah, amazing pumps.
No dry scooping and all that.
Man.
Dry scooping, get all over your beard. It's choking. Just crazy.
Yes, the best. The best, for sure. That's why, and we don't want to say it's a pre-workout because, I don't want to take a pre-workout. Like, there's no stimulants in Hercules Potion. But if you want the stimulant effect with ECAs and Hercules Potion, now you got the stimulant effect, the pump effect, the recovery effect, and all the other different benefits that go along with it. It's truly the best out there with no garbage in it. So I hope you guys enjoy it.
Scotty's saying that his urologist has him on test sip 200 milligrams once every 2 weeks. Seems too spread out.
Oh, man.
It is a little bit spread out.
That's the problem, Scotty.
You're going to have a spike, and it's going to drop within that 2-week frame. Now, the half-life on sipping it, I believe, is 12 or 13 days. So technically, you could do every 2 weeks. But, again, you're going to have a spike. You want to have optimal levels. So I would recommend once or best twice a week.
Yeah, so listen, 200 milligrams.
You do 50 milligrams twice a week. Yeah.
I mean, if you want to spread it like that, it's garbage. I wouldn't do it that either. 50 milligrams a week is nothing. So at that point, listen, if you really want to do this right, you call or text us. If you don't want it, you want to stay with your urologist. The 200 milligrams every 2 weeks was an old-ass protocol. I mean, years ago.
When it first came out.
Like 15, 16 years ago, man. I heard this protocol when we came in. I go, that ain't going to work. I mean, think about this. When somebody injects Herciponate, even you, right? Let's say you inject it on Monday. You're good. You start feeling good. And then on the next Monday, you're like, I don't feel good, and I'm starting to go down. Now, the whole next week, you feel like garbage. And you're waiting for the next shot. And now you get the next shot. And now you're back up. And now you go through this vicious cycle over and over again. Even at 50 milligrams. And Drew that is right. I mean, I would distribute it evenly if I had to do it the worst, but I wouldn't do that at all. I'd be like, listen, this is not a good protocol, and I would either tell my urologist, this is not going to work for me, or I need to up this. Yeah. And the way you can tell him, and to get around this, I'll help you out, is tell him I want a blood test. And when you blood test, make sure that you go in that second week, like right in the middle or right to the end. Yeah. And you'll be at the lowest possible baseline. And I guarantee those numbers will not. Now, he might not give you more testosterone because he might still say, like, well, you're still within range.
Yeah.
I can see that coming from a urologist. But
no, the side effects. I mean, think about it. You're going to have the side effects. You're not stable. The whole thing is to keep everything optimal and consistent. So you're going to have a spike.
Yep.
People that do that, they may have breakouts. They may have oily skin. And they may be, just like John said, in a great mood for 4 or 5 days and feeling weird for the next week. So you want to get everything. When you take testosterone, cypionate, or enanthate, after about 2 weeks, everything should be like this. It should stay the same. It shouldn't go up and down like that.
Absolutely.
So I would just recommend a urologist say, look, this is what I heard. What do you think? But again, twice a week for me would be optimal.
Yeah. Listen, definitely do that. Plus, make sure he's checking your estradiol. When you check your estrogen, make sure that the conversion there is you're all good too. Yeah. So there's a couple different things I would look at there, but it is what it is. 43 just blood dumped. Notice lower resting heart and lower blood pressure. Yeah, I'm sure. If you just blood dump, that's definitely a good thing for you too as well.
A lot of people blood dump. The headaches go away too, which is also blood pressure.
Yeah, that means your blood's getting too thick for sure.
Hemoglobin.
The hemoglobin. Yeah. Now, is testosterone that much better than Semerone? If it is, why? Thanks. It absolutely is. It kills Semerone. Testosterone kills Semerone. Testosterone is the best GHRH on the market. Or GHRH out there, period. It is. It truly is. It's the only FDA-approved one. It does something that none of the other ones do, like attack visceral belly fat, and it raises your IGF-1 better than Semerone. The other thing, why it's better is, and why Semerone's not even talked about hardly anymore, because you got CJC 1295, right? And that's way better. The half-life's a lot longer. The half-life's a lot less than Semerone and the CJC, and testosterone kills both of those. So at that point, why would you do it? Even if you were on Semerone and you took it for 6 months, you would start not getting the effects after that. So there you go.
Savon, thoughts on BPC 157 on muscle build? It'll help a little bit with muscle, but I like it more so recovery.
Yeah.
I mean, CJC, BPC, and TB500 will actually help with muscle growth.
Yep.
Even though they're not talked about that much, but
true. Mainly
for recovery. I think BPC would be number one for recovery. The next one down would be maybe CJC or TB500.
Yep.
But BPC is top. People I want to recover. BPC is the top.
That is definitely the top.
For recovery, not just your muscle, ligaments, tendons, but also sunburns, skin burns, all that helps recover everything.
Yep. NJ, it's $550 right now it's for 8 weeks, so it's 2 months. So at that point, and there's a 10% discount. Or you can get Retatrutide, which is even better. So call or text 727-389-3220. All right, Lewis, 200, 400.
I would say 200.
Yeah, I would start low first. Always start low. You want to get the maximum benefit with the lowest possible dose.
Exactly. That's exactly what it took me 10 years to figure that out.
Right?
Yeah.
You think that I'm going to throw 10 times the dose at, I'm going to get 10 times the effect. Not true.
10 times the side effects.
It
also,
is.
looks like Niall is asking, what would you expect from taking that on TRT or go? I would say if you're going to take TRT, if you're looking for something that does something similar, testosterone, just like we just said. Testosterone is going to target your belly fat. It's going to increase your muscle mass. It's going to make you feel a little bit better. So I would recommend that with the TRT as opposed to what you're talking about.
Yeah. Scotty, listen, we don't just do tests, so that's one thing that's different with us. Blood work, we do a full in-depth panel. I don't know what you got, but if your blood's within 60 days and you have all the necessary tests that we need, then that would be fine. If not, our blood testing is $150 with our discount that me and Drew will give you right now. That's full in-depth. That's not just free and total testosterone. We're talking about estradiol, IGF-1 levels, B12 levels, your complete metabolic panel, liver, kidneys, electrolytes, all through there. Your complete blood cell count, red blood cell count, hemoglobin, hematocrit we just talked about. White blood cell counts in there too as well, infection. And then we're talking about a full thyroid panel, T3, T4, TSH. And we're talking about PSA in there too as well with a lipid panel to make sure your cholesterol and everything else is on point. So it's a really in-depth panel as far as that goes. But, you're looking from $225 to $375 monthly for hormone replacement therapy, depending on what's prescribed, dosages, and the whole nine. So if you're interested, please give us a call or text. We'd be happy to help you. If we can't help you, I'm sorry, but at least we can give you some good information where you can start cornering the urologist to maybe give you this stuff too as well.
Yeah, about $10 a day for HRT is definitely worth it. Definitely worth it.
Yeah.
I think we got time.
Titan is the best. Is there any plans on creating a supplement line, powder? Yes, absolutely. That's in the making right now. Right now. So I'm on it, guys.
Nice.
And that's probably one of those. I don't know about our protein powder, but we're gonna definitely do a creatine.
Oh yeah.
Definitely do a creatine, and I'm looking at maybe making like an oral Hercules potion for over the counter.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
Something like that.
With
Maybe a Titan Complete oral. Something like that. Yeah. Something. I don't know.
ECA with creatine.
Maybe put Drew's face on one of the bottles. I don't know.
Oh, that'll work. Yeah.
You know, we're gonna get crazy.
I'm gonna have to cut my carbs today. If
We're gonna get crazy.
I'm ready for that.
We're gonna get crazy. So
Yeah.
you guys will see it. I promise you guys. And when I bring it out, you guys will be the first to know. And you guys, I hope you guys will support me because you know I'm gonna bring out only the best, and it'll be medical grade as far as that across the line.
Yep. I can't wait for that one.
All right.
It's gonna be great.
I think that's it, guys. So we're gonna wrap it up. Events coming up. So we are Title Pro at Tampa Pro this year again. A main sponsor for Hurricane Pro. That's already done. And we've got some more events in the works too as well. So we'll be letting you guys know that. Get you guys subscribed to the newsletter if you guys are not subscribed to the newsletter. If not, make sure you guys are tuning in every week to Titan Lifestyle with me and Big Drew.
Yeah, make sure you guys hit the bell on YouTube and subscribe so you're notified of videos like this. We got the podcast, TikTok, Instagram.